Did somebody order one animatronic in pristine condition?
No sir, you must be mistaken.
That's not what I was told. The shipment was to 8572 Northwest Platypus Boulevard.
But I didn't order.
You're welcome.
Well, looks like it's time to belt the #1 defense recommended by naturalists against a live grizzly bear. Hi everybody, I'm the Unconventional Expositor, and it's my job to sit in a chair and talk about stuff. Given my current predicament, I'd say it's a pretty good time to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's.
For those of you unfamiliar, Five Nights at Freddy's, or FNAF for short, is an indie horror game that involves you surviving against evil Charles Entertainment Cheese, better known as Freddy Fazbear, and his friends Bonnie the Rabbit, Chica the Chicken, and Foxy the Pirate. Most horror games involve the player roaming a semi-open area, like a mansion or a forest. To that, good old Scott Gotham said, "Screw that, this game's gonna be an ass-sitting simulator!" To give a little bit of context on how FNAF came to be, struggling indie game creator Scott Cawthon made a game called Chipper and Son Slumber Co., which didn't gain a ton of attention, and the attention it did gain leaned more to the negative side, with the common criticism being that all the characters looked unnatural, almost as if they were animatronics, like the one you'd see at a theme park or a Chuck E. Cheese's. When Scott heard all these criticisms, he used them to his advantage in his next game, Five Nights at Freddy's, which was originally going to be his last resort for success. So if this game failed, Scott was going to quit making games for good. But when FNAF was released on August 8th, 2014, it gained a rapid increase in popularity via Let's Plays. In particular, Markiplier's videos blew up out of nowhere, with his first one currently at over 120 million views. Eventually, other big names like PewDiePie and Jacksepticeye got around to playing the game too. But Mark will always be the king of Five Nights at Freddy's. The unexpected success of Five Nights at Freddy's led to several sequels, several more sequels, then even more sequels, multiple series of books, a feature film, a lot of merchandise, and a lot of fan games too. And the fandom. But those are all topics for another time. I'm taking you back to a simpler time, when all there was the first game.
When I was in elementary school, I remember being more scared of these games than the monster under my bed. And while I've matured a lot since then, these games still give me an uneasy feeling to this day, especially the fourth one. Anyways, what is FNAF about? Well,
in FNAF, you're playing as Mike Schmidt, a security guard at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which is at day a place of joy and fun for the family, but at night its four mascots come to life, and they seem to be less than welcoming to anyone around. Your objective is to keep the four animatronics out of your office 12 to 6, which lasts 8 minutes 55 seconds in real time, or they'll stuff you inside a Freddy Fazbear suit, which I don't think would feel very good. This Mike Schmidt is either in desperate need of a job that's well below minimum wage, or just plain crazy. Every night, you get a pre-recorded message from Phone Guy, voiced by Scott Cawthon himself, who to his credit, delivers a surprisingly good performance. He's a former night guard who's finishing his last week leaving these messages for you, sometimes giving you some tips to help you survive against the four animatronics. On the first night, the phone guy gives you a basic introduction to where you're working. He tells you that the animatronics get a bit quirky at night, and he mentions something about a bite of 87, which 10 years later, no one knows the meaning of. For now, only Bonnie and Chica are after you. Bonnie moves down the left hall, while Chica moves down the right hall. When you see either of them in the light, just close the door until they leave. If you're too late, the door and the light stop working, and when you look at the cameras, you get jump scared. Overnight, the building's power decreases to keep it running, but it decreases faster the more you use the cameras, lights, and doors. You don't want it to reach 0%, or all you can do is hope and pray that Fozzie Bear doesn't give you a hug. It sounds simple, but at play these mechanics become a lot more complicated when Papa Bear and furry Long John Silver join the fun. The first night is pretty easy, as Bonnie and Chica aren't too aggressive, but it's a good way to get used to the game's mechanics. As the night progresses, the animatronics get more aggressive and harder to deal with, and on each night, they reach that level of aggression faster, so you gotta learn what to do when to be prepared. Sometimes on night 1, Foxy activates, but he usually waits until night 2. On the Pirate's Cove camera, he'll slowly, or quickly, come out of the curtains and will Usain Bolt his way down the left corridor and try to look at your search history. The second night isn't too different from the first night, with the only difference of note being that the animatronics are more aggressive. Phone Guy lets us know that Freddy usually moves in the dark, which explains how Freddy suddenly teleports to your office when the lights go out. Every once in a while, you'll see hallucinations both on the cameras and right in your face. Most of these are just red herrings to scare you and have no effect on gameplay, like the characters looking at you or Freddy ripping his head off on this poster, but some of them have lore implications. Sometimes these newspaper clippings show up, talking about some missing children who were last seen at this pizzeria and never seen again. No one knows what happened to them. Maybe it's the animatronics. Now that I think about it, if you look closely on Freddy's face, you can see handprints, presumably from children, and one of the clippings mentions a foul odor coming from the animatronics. Yeah, that pretty much speaks for itself. And of course, there's Golden Freddy. This enigmatic piss-colored bear has a 1 in 32,768 chance of appearing when you look at this specific camera. All you need to do is put up the camera to make him wait. Where'd he go?
I remember one day I was playing the original mobile port of FNAF, and I saw Golden Freddy. Haven't seen him since.
To this day, nobody knows for sure what this shady bear means, or is. Is he an animatronic, a ghost, or just a figment of our imaginations? Perhaps we'll never know.
Oh! Guess my first line of defense wasn't enough.
Night 3 gives us a proper introduction to Freddy. He moves whenever you aren't looking at the cameras, slowly but surely advancing right to your doorstep to say, SURPRISE!
Hello. Hey, you're doing great. Most people don't last this long. I mean, you know, they usually move on to other things by now. I'm not implying that they died. That's not what I meant.
Oh, really?
Anyway,
The difficulty continues to ramp up on night 4. This is the first night on this playthrough in which I got jump scared. At first the jump scares are pretty effective for what they are, but over time they kinda lose their edge once you know what to expect. At the beginning of night 4, the phone guy is having a hard time keeping the animatronics at bay until... People are still debating what happened to Phone Guy. At first people thought he got stuffed into Chica, but that's been debunked. I think it was Golden Freddy because the scream sounds the same. When you start night 5, the phone rings, but all you get is... I beat night 4 without too many problems, but night 5 was a whole different story. On my old YouTube channel, when I let's played night 5, it only took me about 5 tries if I remember correctly. Though here, it took me over 2 hours to beat. Though this could be because back then I was playing the mobile port. Oh, Chica! Oh no. Well, I done goofed. Wait, open that. Bonnie! Frick! Just rethinking my life choices for a minute. Freddy, please get over it now. I don't care for this song. Ah, you gotta be kidding me. A bunch of dying, screaming, yelling, and groaning later. Foxy, and especially Freddy, get really annoying on this night. Freddy always hangs out on this camera, and if you open the door, you're risking having a Kodiak bear waltz right into your room. Eventually, I used this trick where I waited until I heard stepping to check the lights, listened for Freddy's laughing sound whenever he got closer, and checked on Foxy from time to time, and only checked the cameras for Foxy and sometimes Freddy to save power. Myself up so bad. I did it! You suck, Freddy! Get good, go home and eat a pizza or something, I don't care. And for all your suffering, you get $120. After that, you unlock a 6th night, which is like night 5 but harder, and then a 7th night, which lets you choose the aggression level of the animatronics on a scale of 0 to 20. But I didn't spend $4.99 to experience such unbearable pain. If you want to know what happens after these nights, after night 6, we get an overtime bonus of 50 cents. And after night 7, you're fired for unprofessionalism, odor, and tampering with the animatronics. Imagine getting fired and one of the reasons it's not taking a shower. For a while, fans thought if you entered 1987 in the custom night menu, in reference to the Bite of 87 phone guy mentioned in night 1, you get a secret ending, but it turned out this was not the case. Eventually, Scott updated the game, so if you enter 1987, you get... I don't think this is meant to have any lore implications, and Scott just added it so no one looked for a rumored secret ending.
So in my humble opinion, Five Nights at Freddy's is a pretty simple but solid horror game that's worth the $5. And I think its simplicity actually helps it in this case.
The game's mechanics make you feel powerless against the animatronics, like you're cornered and you've got limited resources to defend yourself. You rarely see any of the animatronics move, they're just standing there, menacingly, and the moment you look away they just pull up to your house. I just find it amazing how Chuck E. Cheese, the video game, became so influential not just in video games, but also internet culture as a whole. And whenever something gets this big, all that's missing is a kart racer. Actually, it already has a kart racer, so scratch that off the bingo sheet. I think the reason FNAF got so enormous is that there was nothing like it at the time. While there were other indie horror games like the Slender games, the idea of something usually kid-friendly turning kid-unfriendly was such a novel concept at the time. Nowadays, while others have tried to replicate this idea, few have even come close to the titan as a FNAF franchise. As wise men say, the early bird gets the worm.
Well, anyways, that'll be it for today's video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos.
The next day.
Hey, it turns out we shipped the animatronic to the wrong address. We apologize for this inconvenience and we would like to take it back.
About that... Oh, I'm broke.
Hello everybody, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want more of these videos, or if you don't want more of these videos, dislike and don't subscribe if you want to. Well, anyways, I'll see you later.